Surprise! I wear glasses. So if you're new here, this is unusual. There's always contacts. I usually wear contacts. However, my eyeballs they're dry. They're as dry as the Sahara, and they're just not having it today. So I apologize. One of the reasons I never do it on videos is because I know that the glare can be really obnoxious. It's obnoxious for me. Like, the light enhances every scratch in my glasses, and I can barely see the fucking camera. New moon, first new moon in 2021. First new moon after the solstice. That's a great new moon. I'm excited. This ritual, if you're watching it at the time of our publishing, if you're watching it for this new moon, the January 2021 new moon, then it's going to be a great ritual for us to do. If you're watching this later, totally cool. This is still an applicable ritual, whatever, anytime. And I especially think it would be great for the spring equinox. So if by some chance somebody lands on this during the spring equinox, I would say this is probably a very serendipitous find for you, because I think it would be a great one for that. Without further ado, let's just fucking get into it, shall we? Now, today's ritual is essentially a honey jar spell, which I have filmed before, so not very creative, I get that. But it's a honey jar spell without the jar. And there's a whole train of thought that happened behind this that I'm not going to get into, because it'll turn into a 25-minute fucking video that nobody wants to see. So, I'm not going to do that. Point is, it's a honey jar spell without the jar. And what we're going to do is we're going to plant this into the earth. Now, I have had questions in the past from people in previous videos where I talk about digging into the ground, who have told me they can't do that because they're in an apartment complex, or because their neighbors are very close by and they don't want them to see them, and they don't want them to like raise questions about what they're doing under the moon at night or whatever. So I have kind of an alternative for you guys that I'll get into when I get to that point. But yeah, let's go into the specifics of how the ritual works now. First thing you want to do is set up your altar space wherever, however you want. Now, I know some people like a lot of very specific guidance. I know some people are like, I don't know what to put on my altar. I don't know how it should be. Shouldn't it be a certain way? Here's my thing. I really believe that ritual work, spell work, altar space, decoration, these kinds of things are acts of personal creative expression. Okay? I believe that, truly. And I know there's a lot of practitioners or a lot of books that would tell you to like do this exactly like this, but I don't believe in anything that requires strict adherence to specific sets of rules. There are loopholes to that thought process. High magic has specifics. I get that. However, if you're doing a new moon ritual, it is a matter of personal and creative expression. That's my opinion. That's my belief. I want you to set up however you want. Now, I will, however, tell you as a slight guideline, it should be entirely designed around your intention. Okay? If your intention is for, say, love, the heart chakra is associated with the color green, so you may want to use green, or you may want to put some green aventurine if you have some green aventurine crystals on your table, or rose quartz, which is pink. You can use pink as well. Pink and red and green are kind of the colors of love. I would use those. You could literally, if you're doing a love kind of thing, you could literally cut out hearts out of cardstock if you wanted to. I'm just spitballing here, but you could literally do whatever you want. You could use, if you have a tarot deck, you could put the lover's card out. You could sprinkle rose petals on your altar. You could, whatever. I would say design it however feels good. Design it so that it looks good to you and that you appreciate it. But I would also suggest that you do it in alignment with whatever your intention is. If your intention is abundance, right? And you want to go with money, you could literally put change and coins or money out on your altar, right? So just be mindful of what it is you're trying to create with your ritual, and use that as your baseline for what to actually put on your altar. From there, creative expression, whatever you want to do, okay? Like, whatever you want to do. Hey, I'm interrupting real quick. Just if you're still watching this and you appreciate it, if you could hit the like button, that would be fucking awesome. If you watch the whole thing and you appreciate it, comments and subscriptions are super appreciated. Yes, that's it. That's all I have. Back to the video. Okay, thanks. The only real necessary item you're going to have to do this specific ritual is going to be honey. And with that said, if you're a vegan, I am sorry. I don't have a substitute. And I get it. Because, I mean, listen, I've been a shit vegan for the last year. I've slipped into, like, vegetarianism. I've been eating dairy for the last, like, 2020. For a lot of 2020, I've been eating dairy. But I'm getting my shit back together, and I am apologizing for that. However, and I understand why you don't use honey. I do. But I also think honey is mystically, anciently magical, and that if it wasn't so overused, it would be okay and acceptable to use it in small quantities. And I'm using it very selectively and very mindfully. Okay? I use it for tea, and I use it for magic, and that's about it. And I think if we all just did that, it would be fine. And if you disagree, I'm sorry. So with that being said, if you don't want to use honey, I don't know of a substitute, and I'm really sorry. I guess you could just do it without the honey, but I don't know it would be quite the same. But I mean, listen, if it doesn't feel right to you, then again, do whatever the fuck you want. That is my gold standard statement at all times. I don't know shit. Do whatever you want. Okay? Okay. Now, once your space is set up the way that you want it to, you're going to sit down in front of it. There is an additional item that I would recommend, or that is optional, but you don't have to do it. If you get one of these ritual candles, and you can get it in all kinds of colors, so again, you could get the one that's associated with your intention, or you can always use white. White works for everything, so it's good to just have these on hand. Now, what you can do is you can carve your intention, a word or a phrase or a sigil or whatever, into these candles. You can also dress it with oil. So you could use an oil associated with your intention, as well as carve the word into the side and put this in kind of the center or in a prominent location on your altar space. Not necessary at all, but it's a nice addition, okay? So that's the only other thing I'll say about your altar space. Other than that, do whatever the fuck you want. I do recommend having candles, though. I always recommend it. That's just my personal preference. If you don't want to, again, do whatever you want. Now, when you're setting up your altar space, you're also going to want to gather all of your ingredients at this point. You're going to want to get herbs, minerals, stones, sigils, anything that's going to be associated with your intention. So what we're going to end up doing is combining all of these things and planting them into the earth. Okay, and I will add a screen of basics, but I recommend spending some time to research what it is you would like to add to it, and what you want to use. And you have all of those things gathered out on your altar space. Once your space is set up and you're ready to go, sit down. This is, again, one of the reasons why I think candles are good, because you can either stare at a flame or you can just close your eyes. But I want you to visualize what it is you're trying to create. But visualize it as if it is real time, present, yours already. And for the millionth time, emotion moves energy better than anything else. So if you can feel it, feel the emotions of it, feel the gratitude for it, feel exactly what it would feel like to have achieved the thing that you're trying to manifest. Imagine it in all of its detail. Imagine every facet of your life with that new thing fully manifested. For as long as you can, in as much detail as you can, with as much emotion as you can. Now, the basic concept here is now we have our intention set, and we're going to gather all of our ingredients, add them intentionally, and then we're going to take them outside and put them into the earth. Okay, now, if, this is where some alterations have to happen. There's some options here I need to go over, okay? If you cannot dig a hole because it's not your property or in an apartment complex or your neighbors are weird or whatever the thing is, right? You live with parents, whatever. Then the alternative option, the best option that I can think of, is that you get a small planting pot of some kind, okay? And you put some dirt in it, whether it's planting soil or dirt from outside or whatever. You have this ready on the day of your ritual, and you actually put everything into that. And then within, I would say, 24, 36 hours before the moon moves into its next sign, take that pot of dirt out to a place where you can dig, a public place or something like that, or somebody else's house. I actually would go with a public place, the woods, the desert, wherever you can go, and then dig a hole and dump the whole pot of dirt into that hole. Okay. So if you can't dig in your own property, you're additionally going to want to have a pot of dirt. It can be whatever fucking container you want that is at least deep enough to cover what you're going to bury into it. Okay. Which is just going to be either a piece of paper, or I think I'm going to use coffee filters because that seems sensible to me. I feel like that's a really good option. And all you're going to do is, once your intentions are set, right? We already visualized everything. We're all ready to go there. We're living in a reality where our wishes already come true. And that's cool. That's awesome. Then what we're going to do is, one by one, take the ingredients that we have decided upon that align with our intentions. And we're going to very consciously and very mindfully, holding our vision of what we're manifesting, add those ingredients to our little coffee filter. Okay. And you can add herbs, stones. You can get pieces of paper if you want and write words or sigils on them and add that in there as well. And you don't need a lot. You don't have to add like handfuls of herbs. You can just have little tiny flecks of crystals and little bits of herbs, as much as you want. It's whatever. It's on you. It's your choice. Do whatever you want. Again, that's my motto, right? Do whatever you want. So put it all in there. And then once you've got it all in there, kind of bundle it up. And then we're going to either plant it into our pot if we can't dig, or if you can dig, we're going to, or if you can, plant it into your pot and then drive it somewhere, or take your bundle with you and drive it somewhere, or go do your ritual somewhere where you can plant it, whatever works. Then we're going to take our bundle outside. Now, if you're watching this when I film it or soon thereafter, I get it. It's January and it's fucking cold out. I live in Michigan. I'm on the team, okay? Right now, I happen to be lucky, and there happens to not really be much snow outside. I think there is like a dusting of snow, and the ground is definitely kind of frozen and cold. And it's gonna be cold outside when I do this, and I get that. I don't know what to tell you. Like, suck it up, Buttercup. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be cold, but you're gonna be fine. Go out there, dig a hole, okay? Dig a hole, and take a little bundle and plant it in the ground. And now at this point, if you have moon water, it would be a really good time to use it. You can literally water your new moon seed with full moon water, which is fucking awesome. Once you have planted your little seed, make sure that you give gratitude. Like, thank you. Thank you for accepting my seed. Thank you for everything that I'm about to get, everything that I've already received. I know now that this is happening. The wheels are in motion, and you have to trust that the wheels are in motion. Okay? Trust it. It may not look like it. Sometimes things fall apart in order to fall together. And that's something you have to learn when you start fucking around with moon magic and manifestation. You put intentions out there. You may go, well, this is how this is going to happen. Fuck you. You don't know that. Okay? Sometimes you say you want this, and that's how you want it to happen. And it happens, but like by this, like because some shit collapsed. Like, careful what you wish for is some real shit. But you have to trust. You have to trust that whatever happens next is to bring you to the thing you're asking for, even if it's not in the way that you thought it was going to happen, because it's probably not going to happen in the way that you thought it was going to happen. Trust the process anyways. Trust and continue to move forward with that. You're going to want to do your ritual the night of the 12th. You could do it before midnight, but here's the thing. The moon will be void of course at 2:22 a.m. 2:22 a.m. Eastern time on the 13th, that night. So, make sure your ritual has been done before that, okay? Don't do rituals during a void of course moon. It's like just throwing your effort into a void. It's like void of course. Void of course is void of your fucking efforts. Don't do it. There's a lot of things that I never say not to do, but don't do that. So be mindful of that, because it's only 2 hours and 22 minutes after the exact set time. You can do the ritual before. Like, you could start your ritual if you're on Eastern Standard Time, right? Moon is at midnight. You could literally have your whole ritual done and be in bed by 11 o'clock if you want to. That's totally fine. That's close enough. But make sure your shit is done before that. Also, if you're planting it after the fact, okay, the moon will be in Capricorn. It's a new moon in Capricorn, okay? The moon will move into Pisces on Friday at like 5-something p.m. Eastern time. You're going to want to make sure you've had it planted and done before the moon moves into Pisces while it's still in Capricorn, okay? That's the key for you. Make sure it's done before the sun moon. Make sure it's done before the moon is moved into Pisces. Other than that, like, do it when you can, but like you got a good little window there, but make sure it's done before it moves into Pisces. Don't forget, if you post anything on social media using this ritual, which I know most of you won't, I totally get that it's weird for most people. Cool. But if you do, and you wouldn't mind, I'm using the hashtag Atlantis Rituals. You can also find me at Stormy Atlantis on wherever you are. I have platforms everywhere. And that would be appreciated. I love seeing people use my rituals. It makes me happy. So do that shit. Also, don't forget to follow me elsewhere. And if you watch the video, I really appreciate any interaction you have. Likes, comments, subscriptions, etc., are always appreciated, and they help me. And so I can keep doing this, and I want to keep doing this. And yeah, so that's all I have. Happy new moon. See you guys on the next video. Okay, bye.